ラブマジックは時計はしない意地の悪いまま母にも急な雨にも寂しい夜にもへこたれない君がやはり愛しい遠く離れて会えない日は星に願って夢で会おう明日は晴れるや一生 I love you 変わらないそうだ You love me 永遠だ君に会うダイヤのリング渡そうこれから何千回つまずいてさらに何万回転んでも君のガラスの靴は脱げはしないみんな乗ってる今回のこのなんたってアイドルそうグループ名はマジマジ当たり前行こう宝物さ地球は回り日は昇り君は微笑む素直に I love you 届けようきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に合うガラスの靴を探そういつまでも深夜12時を過ぎたって君は僕の愛しい24時間シンデレラ Hey 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 素直に I love you 届けようきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に合うガラスの靴を探そう二人でセパンゴーいつまでも深夜12時を過ぎたって僕らのラブマジックは時計はしないおいで召しませお姫様毒のリンゴを食べて眠っちゃいそうな素直すぎる君がとても愛しい当たり前行こう宝物さ地球は回り日は昇り君は素直に I love you 届けようきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に合うガラスの靴を探そう二人でセパンゴーいつまでも深夜12時を過ぎたって僕らのラブマジックは時計はしない意地の悪いまま母にも急な雨にも寂しい夜にもへこたれない君がやはり愛しい遠く離れて会えない日は星に願って夢で会おう明日は晴れるや一生 I love you 変わらないそうだ
Hello, CWF Universe. It's G again with another episode of Backstage Pass. Where we're actually talking about CWF related stuff. Last episode was the big Final Fantasy nerd off spoiler cast, but today we're gonna bring it back home. Coincidentally, the person who organized that is in the call right now.
Hey there, it's Daniel, also the Mighty Skeletor.
And yes, it's coincidentally. Normally, people use the phrase ironic. It's not irony, it's coincidence. Thank you, Weird Al. People use those words wrong interchangeably. You ever notice that? Am I the only one who notices that?
Well, now that you pointed it out.
Yeah, because there's nothing ironic with you being in the call. Ironic is if you went, yeah, I can't make it next week, and then the irony is you're the first one in the call. That's irony. Little grammar lesson. Meanwhile, there's another voice in this call where, as you heard, a third chuckle. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the chat?
Hello, CWF Universe. It is the voice, Donovan Troy. Just a plethora of love for all of our amazing followers, subscribers, and all the great people that have been following the CWF these last couple of days. Our virtual Fanime extravaganza.
Well, Mantis Man,
excited to be here today.
Mantis Mankiller writes, Donnie. I didn't know that was.
Hello.
I didn't know that was your pet name.
Well, you know what? What people call me is my business, not yours, G, or Mr. Hiki, or Matt Ishida, if those are even your real names.
And Donovan's booted from the call. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll sue you.
Yeah, and then you'll never find out what happens more in Shibuya 428.
I will have to hurt you with all of my powers.
Wonderful voice.
Today's a very special episode of CWF Backstage Pass because we have come off a very. Do you think monumental is overstating it?
Oh, not at all.
We've never done this
the
before,
word. I like
so
it.
yeah, let's do it.
We just come off from a crazy, and since I had their permission, monumental event, which was Fanimania, but unlike a Fanimania in all the previous 6 years we've done it, as it was completely virtual and went over the course of 4 days. In fact, this is day number 5 of me streaming. I don't know how I'm retaining my sanity, but our team, it went from like 2 to 3 events, and then it just got more, and then we added a Jackbox session, and then we added the WWW session, and then the surprise, the fan stream, and a lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff happened with you. A lot of stuff happened with us, and we're here to just sift through the rubble and talk about the whole experience, because I think it's very normal, like in any other big show we do, to talk about it. So there's a lot to talk about. Overall, Donovan, Daniel, first impressions.
Well, I was basically a fan on days 1 and 2, and I was just listening in, especially for the Shibuya game, which was a lot of fun. But believe it or not, I'm still a little bit tired from Sunday. Like usually we end the Jackbox game with Patently Stupid, and usually I'm like going all out. I'm like, oh, I'm Skeletor, here's my awesome promo. I just didn't have energy. I'm like, because I was Skeletor for 2 full hours or about 2 hours in match game, and an hour before. And as soon as the thing ended, I'm not even in the call. I just rip off and I just start chugging an entire glass of water, about 24 ounces, in the span of like 20 seconds. It was exhausting.
I think what didn't help was normally we would be in the con center with AC. Unless your house has a lot of AC.
It had a small fan.
Yeah.
So it was not full AC.
So you were battling the elements, and dehydration definitely takes a lot out of you. Before I dive deeper into Daniel's comment, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to our Patreon donators. These are people who are donating at least at the $5 mark or more. thank you very much for your patronage. This allows us to maintain a lot of our hosting fees online. So even though it's not an obscene amount of money that normally you see, it goes a long way. So I'd like to thank Jimmy Mai, Magical Senpai, and Randy Gris. Thank you very much for your money, especially in this very trying times. So it's very helpful. I also like to give a shout out to our super. Wait, where you at? You get our super donator, Daniel Christian Venta. Thank you very much for your Patreon donors. Wanted to get that out of the way, but please since I am taking a little pause for the cause, I'll go ahead and read the chat. Man, I was glad to enjoy Fanimania from my home. Not every day I can enjoy it. I'll cherish the moments for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Aww. Who's that from?
That is from Mantis Mankiller, a.k.a.
cool.
Julio.
Julio's great.
Julio's great. Didn't puke on anyone.
This time. For some reason, I'm having severe troubles with logging on to Twitch on my phone. Oh, technology problems continues. But go ahead, continue, Daniel. I loved your story.
Well, as I thought Match Game was a smashing success. I actually didn't know how long we were going because, we done a little practice. So we're like, okay, here's 3 rounds, here's 2 rounds, and we start going. I'm like, we're doing this 4, we're doing this 5, we're doing this 6, we're doing this 7, and then we ended up doing it. We ended up stopping at 7. I'm like, oh, okay, let's do it. But I felt that was our strongest of the 3 that we'd done, like the one we actually promoted, because we were just so used to it. And after the first couple rounds, we're just like, oh, yes, Mr. Troy, we're definitely on the same wavelength this time. Because you'd always carry around your title, but you'd have your minions definitely on the same wavelengths. That's what I would do.
It was glorious.
Donovan,
glorious.
How about your first impressions of the event? Definitely we're going to go down the card and get into the nitty-gritty of everything we did. And all of
just
you.
Overall.
Yeah, just an overall, especially this is your first time just doing a virtual convention.
Totally. I think overall, I was completely blessed. I was very thankful. One, because it gave me a platform to still entertain the masses, which is definitely the object of the creation of Donovan Troy, is to entertain and put smiles on faces and laughs and giggles in people's bodies. And Cosplay Wrestling Federation gave me a platform that I could provide such entertainment. So I'm definitely blessed and thankful for that. It almost felt like a wrestling weekend for me, just because we kind of collaborated and we split up on what things I was going to actually do. I had something to look forward to on Friday night. I had something to look forward to on Saturday. And I had something to look forward to on Sunday. So for me, it was like a triple shot weekend. I was like, oh yeah, let's bring up the action and let's bring on the entertainment and let's see how can I mesh my character with what's going on in the WF universe, because ideally I've just been the ring announcer. Obviously, I evolved that character at Sac Anime, be more of the managerial character, and then decided just to be full-fledged version of Donovan Troy that's at East Bay because of the affiliates that were also involved. It's easier for them to riff on me. They know the character that they're working around. And so it's just been a real pleasure. I hope all the followers and subscribers that have been enjoying the extravaganza enjoyed it. Because obviously Donovan Troy is not a anime character or a video game character.
Also,
the wrestling personality.
Hey, Stapler X, welcome.
Hello, Stapler X.
Stapler X, a.k.a. our match game contestant. One of our match game contestants. It also seems you had a few of your friends in the chat, Donovan, when I was reading it for Match Game?
I did. I went into our East Bay. I went to our East Bay group chat and told them about coming on and supporting us. Then I told several of the SPW crew about the show, and then I promoted it on my Facebook, which is where I have the more of my followers, since Facebook has been a long-standing medium over Twitter and Instagram. So I used Facebook to also connect with my followers, and I'm glad I had some people show up. It was obviously a nice change, having the video and then chatting, and it was a nice balance of can I connect with as many people as possible during the 3-day extravaganza that I was a part of. So thank you again, G and Ken and all the Anthony and all the team members for making it happen, because it was definitely worth it. I hope everyone else enjoyed it too.
I definitely wanted to thank Trisha Angelique for her nonstop promoting. Because of her efforts, we were able to just focus on what we do. A lot of time, especially in today's society, we always like to, really think we could do it all. And while we can do it all, it's certainly easier to not do it all. Wow, that's insightful, I know. You're in a very blessed position to be able to focus on like the task you want to do, and then have other people take care of the side stuff. And both Anthony and Angelica, Trisha, are unsung MVPs of this whole extravaganza. God, you got me saying it, Donovan.
It's a good word. Why not use it? It's what it was.
It was your word, and now I feel like I'm encroaching, crunching on your gimmick.
To be fair, Rue has been using it for longer than I have.
But Rue's not in this call, so you have immediate priority.
Not yet.
It's so extra. I'm going to go ahead and flash the schedule on camera real quick, to just give you some backstory about Fanimania and how this transcribed. So here's the schedule, folks. Originally, we only had 3. We wanted Match Game was in the pipe, right? Match Game was in the pipe, and then the Jackbox After Party and Using Pro Wrestling and Unlock Your Inner Performer. Those were the 3 events that I locked in. Then Isaac came in and says, I want to do a panel on music. And then Eli came in, she said, hey, I want to do an acting panel, but focus on the raw theater. And I'm a silly person. I go, yes, okay, sure. Right at that point, Anthony, who's been working on Suplex Art Online, like he had this trailer down for like half a year ago, said, hey, I want to do it. So I slot that in. And I'm going to go, hey, we've been playing WWE a lot. Maybe we could do one of the fans. Then I slot that in. And I'm like, well, since I always game, I'll slot in a game slot. And this is how the schedule went. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9 events plus the bonus WWW pay-per-view on Monday. So it was a 10 events that we did. And I was pretty much in the call for all of them, minus Suplex Art Online, in which case I was just in the chat. That's a lot, I mean, normally we do, 2 to 3, Daniel? We do, an acting panel, a wrestling gathering, a Stage 0 segment.
And, yeah, Fanimania, Stage 0, and some 24/7 shenanigans now.
Yes, and some 24/7 shenanigans. But that was always filmed on our time, and it was just, whatever you want to do. So it wasn't like we scheduled it. So going from 3 events to 10 it's a huge commitment. And it was not meant to be this big. And now, unfortunately, now that it is, people are going to be like, well, it's got to be bigger, G. And if I go any less, they'll be like, oh, you slacking, G. I'm going to go right from the top. We could talk about this one at a time so everybody can really we could really appreciate this. And obviously, if not all our panelists involved have been in it or watched it, we could, not cover it as much. Audience, also keep in mind that we are currently in the CWF Discord channel, the main one. That means our teammates are free to enter and leave as is. That's why you see Team CWF. Normally, I would have like 2 or 3 guests, but since this is an open town, people are free to walk in. Let's see. Stapler X writes, "It's so extra." And Hiki is a slacker and posting in Mr. Hiki chats. Yeah, Hiki is a slacker. He never showed up all this weekend. Oh,
Ooh,
first event.
You can get in trouble.
First event on Friday was 2 p.m. The stage is my ring, acting 101. Did the two of you watch this event?
So I was working at the time, but I took my break, so I was able to watch about 15 minutes. But it was like from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I was able to see that.
Yeah. I want to give a special shout out to Christina and Eli because they were the brainchild. It was Eli's panel, and Christina made the custom Fanimania overlay. All I did was sit in the room. So wow, that was really insightful. It's probably credit them. But out of those,
how's it going, guys?
Hey, Kaza, can you go ahead and introduce yourself to the stream?
Kaza also perform as Wrench. First time being here on the podcast.
Yeah. Welcome.
Also in WWW, I did play Ragnar. I'm playing a new character pretty soon, so excited about that.
Yeah, Kaza is one of our SoccerCon performers who unfortunately was not able to perform at SoccerCon due to shelter in place. However, ever since shelter in place, Kaza's been way more active with actually talking to us and is now kind of like a mainstay of our online community.
Well, I try to help out however I can.
Well, you helping out means that you get to play awesome tabletop RPGs. Did you, by any chance, watch the stage is my ring acting 101, Kaza?
I was working and I was catching bits of streams whenever I could.
That's okay.
However, when Saturday the Suplex Art Online, that was an amazing experience.
Oh, we'll get there. We're doing it like how wrestling podcasts do any card, and you start from the top and you go down. Except we're not going to give a star rating because we're biased. I give it 6 stars.
Like the match game, everyone wins.
Everyone wins.
Everyone enjoyed the content.
Daniel, of what you did see, what were your impressions of it?
I was actually very impressed by Eli's experience. From what I heard, she was she speaks publicly almost like, I don't want to say as a profession, but she is experienced in the fact of it.
Yeah, a competitive speech and debate person, the enemies of the drama club, right? Donovan, back in the Logan days.
Very much so.
Very much so.
So most of that was just me astounded by the experience that she had and just how she was like going about how she went to like state and such. And again, it was only like 15 minutes, so I didn't catch all of it.
Of course. I really like this panel because it was the Raw Fundamentals panel because the using pro wrestling is gonna. I knew that it might some, especially the newbies, might get lost in the jargon, or at least wouldn't have enough raw fundamentals to keep up with the conversation. So having something just like, hey, this is how you handle stage fright. This is how you say something. This is how you adapt physicality. Just like the raw basics was a welcome addition. Panel went
Yeah,
by.
that was the one thing I was able to do where I poked my head in and they said, okay, we're gonna open the question. So I'm like, how do you guys deal with nerves before a show or before a speech? Because for several years, even before CWF, I'm just like, man, I am very nervous to go out there. Even like to the point where like right before the Anime Expo show this past year, I'm just like, man, I'm kind of nervous, but I personally have found something that works for me. I take 2 Tums, and I'm just like, okay, that settles my stomach. So I'm like, oh, I'm feeling kind of woozy. I take 2 Tums. It's like, hey, now, uh, I'm like, oh, okay, I feel good.
Tums taste good.
Tums taste good too. So
Tom, 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 tom.
yeah,
Should be a sponsor of us.
Everyone should be a sponsor of us.
Yes.
I'm already going to tasty chalk. Stapler X writes, but
it is.
But here's the panel, and the fact that Christina made 2 versions of the overlay, one at 3 and one at 4, really shows the hard work that went into this. And it was from this panel things only got better, and I mean that in the best way possible, because we already had 20 viewers in. Like, I was a little afraid about how engaged we were gonna be. Like, you know, the actor's nightmare, besides being a play and forgetting your lines, is just performing in front of an empty crowd. Just, you know, your efforts going into the ether, and with us going on 2 p.m. on a Friday, I didn't know how well we were received, especially since not a lot of people were like whenever we do Fanimania, it's like, oh shoot, oh crap, we gotta be here, and there's this big flood of messages. But you know, when we were putting out the social media, even like the big social media posts, people were like 3 thumbs up, like, hey, or that's interesting. So to see 20 people when we average around 6 to 9 is crazy, and it only got better.
Numbers throughout the weekend were fantastic. Like from even the panels, you know, we were averaging at least like 12 to 13 people per panel. And some of the bigger stuff was just bonkers.
Yeah. After that was Isaac's panel, Music Sets the Pace. How music shapes a pro wrestler. This was a very fun panel, especially a lot of wrestling nerds going in and talking about their favorite songs. And Isaac really set the theory about how a wrestler's theme song is the easiest way to make or break a pro wrestler, and how certain pro wrestlers can just get over before even stepping in the ring just based off of song alone.
True.
It was a very fun discussion. A lot of people just sharing their favorite songs. A lot of discussions about Jim Johnson, CFO, how AEW does things. Overall, just a very fun panel. Very fun panel. I'm going to go ahead and show it off real quick here. What I really liked was how Isaac made his own overlay, and you can actually see it in Twitch. A very clean interface. I like the font on his name. Did anyone else here catch that panel?
I did not.
That's it's okay. It's like any convention. You're not going to catch everything. You can't catch everything. And that was another thing that we were worried about, was audience fatigue. Right? Just because, you know, at a con, you know, when you're in the audience, when you're an attendee at a con, you don't see every panel, and you could just go off and walk around the main hall or go get lunch. And we didn't know if people would just come back, but they did. Isaac's panel pretty much had the same amount of viewers as the acting panel. Then again, it's a very niche topic that people like to talk about. Now, let's talk about the big old chunky event, Donovan, that you were a part of.
Thanks.
And this was using pro wrestling to unlock your hidden performer.
Yeah, that me, I mean, let's be honest, people. It is so easy for me to talk. Oh, that is a skill I have developed over time. My mom is convinced I was born with it. Um, but I was really unsure of how exactly call it a class because I felt like it was a class and how the class was going to be ran, and so it was nice to have some bullet points to kind of go off of. And G did a great job at moderating the kind of where could we flow and where everyone can get an opportunity to chime in about their experiences, and it was definitely formatted, I hope, the followers in a way that it was easy to understand and to kind of hear from the perspective of the performers,
It's
helping the viewer and the listeners, craft their own.
it was definitely our largest informative panel because we had Donovan, Ellie and Ryan, Rachel, and Marco with me in the moderator chair. And like the first creative decision I made was I'm just gonna not be on cam, which I think was the best, one of the better decisions I made, just because it just allowed me to not take control of the conversation.
Well, thank you. You, in a way, you did control because you
No,
would segue us.
I guided.
Quickly, though.
I guided. It's different.
Okay.
Control means like, oh yeah, I totally blah 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 blah, and then I get my 5-minute rant.
Gotcha.
Daniel Kaza, did you watch this one?
I did not.
I'm gonna have
Boo.
to check the VOD because I missed out on this one as well.
It was a one thing that was very impressive was that you had a really good balance of you had a gradient. So you had
Oh wait, no. Yes, I did see this one. This is the one with Marco and Donovan,
yes,
right?
I literally,
Yes, I did.
I literally said that.
Yeah, you
Sorry,
really
sorry.
did.
I'm
Own
sorry.
brain.
Uh,
Own brain.
I'll blame the heat. But we had a really nice gradient because you had Donovan, you had Marco who's leaning more on the wrestling side, and then Donovan who's got more of a foot in the wrestling side but has the con experience. That you have Rachel who started at cons but always was involved in the pro wrestling scene as she slowly got pulled over, and Ellie and Ryan who started off as strict con people and only recently got into pro wrestling. So there was a great gamut.
Ah.
There was a great gamut of experiences in here, and I'm so happy that Marco was in here. This was also the panel that a lot of people try to like say like I'm in. I was like, oh god, this might get full.
Yeah, like you said, it was definitely a really cool balance because, like you said, there was really like strictly cosplayers that slowly are now putting their foot in the door of wrestling, and you have Marco and I who are more established in wrestling but still have experiences in cons. It was a nice balance of experience, small, medium to large. To me, being extra large, but actually 2x. But I really enjoyed it. Like I've been telling, like I told them after, I felt like it was a lot like my promo class that I teach. Very back and forth. Here's me kind of giving you a skeleton of things, and it's up to you to kind of fill in the gaps as you need to, and use me as a guide if you feel like you're stuck. Again, I really didn't know how long it was going to go. I didn't know like how many people would want to actually ask questions.
Oh, and boy, did we get a lot of questions that panel.
I thought it was fun.
No,
I mean,
that's a good
sure.
thing. You want a lot
Yeah.
when you get a lot of questions. That means you have an engaged audience that cares about what they saw.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I would definitely wouldn't have no problems be reformatting that panel in the future, or even doing it in live in vivo.
Vivo.
If CWF decides that's a panel they would actually want at other conventions, and obviously we can get some actual wrestlers to come as well. That'd be kind of cool.
Caught the Stapler X writes, caught the panel. Great stuff. It was really cool, especially I personally really liked the bit where Marco explained ring psychology, which really just helped break down the choreography and, you know, understanding the mental strategy that you need to portray as a character. And I was personally proud of talking about how me power bombing Marco would be an example of poor ring psychology.
Yes, it would.
It would.
Yes, it would.
It would.
We didn't get a chance, unfortunately, in that panel to talk about when Sailor Moon's physical altercation at Sac Anime. I was hoping that would kind of come up because I thought it would be kind of cool to hear it. Also, it would have been cool if Mario was on the chat to talk about, you know, getting attacked several times at Sac Anime and how he had to learn how to be cooperative and learn how to work with the athlete, and the athlete having to work with an individual who's not as experienced in the physical piece of wrestling. You know, we made do with what we had, and I thought we had plenty of content to talk about.
We did. And the crowd was very interested. Then we go to 10 p.m., the late night game session, where it was the session that is responsible for most of my misery that weekend, because the night before, actually the afternoon before, I made a screenshot. Actually, let me get that up here.
I gotta play the video. Play your video again in our stream.
I could, but I feel like the rest of the CWF universe is already sick of it because we've been spamming it pretty hard.
No. You spent too much time and energy not to showcase that amazing piece of art, sir. You better play it for our followers.
Well, I do want to like talk about the story behind that, because if you weren't involved in it, and been in conversation with me, I've been hyper obsessed with a game called Shibuya 428 Shibuya Scramble. I'm sorry, my friends. I've always said it at least once a day. I'm sorry. I know I'm hyper into it. Just ride out the storm, okay? Please, just
ADHD over it.
Yeah. And what happened was, weeks back, Donovan was in a stream and we played Shibuya 428, and a lot of people really got interested and we had a lot of fun. So we were at 419 or 420 followers. And I went, oh shit, we're very close to 428. That's a simple goal. Let's do 428 at 428. And we were close to hitting 428 by Fanime. And then I was messing around with Photoshop and I made this graphic right there. Fanime Fumble 428, trying to copy the Shibuya 428 thing just to practice it. So I looked at that graphic. It was like 1 p.m. Thursday. And I went, oh, this would be so cool. What if I did the Shibuya 428 actual character trailers? Oh, it'd be so cool. I should try it. And then I tried it. And I was up till 4 a.m. doing it.
It's a slippery slope.
It is. I was up till 4 a.m. And then I went, I have to finish this now. I have to, because Fanime is I had so many worries, like if I go to sleep and I wake up at like 11, will I have enough time? So I was just banging out as much time as I could. And then I finished the video and we go ahead and we played through the entire session. And it was a huge hit, wouldn't you say, Donovan, Daniel?
Oh my god,
loved it! Like I actually had it on my phone, like on the Twitch app, and I just put it on my nightstand. I fell asleep while I was playing because I'm like I got to go to sleep, but they're still going. And then like one of my as I was falling asleep, I just hear Jaime like burning hammer, and then he kept talking about the burning hammer and how it was like $1,300 per bottle.
I was really excited to do this just because I love the game, and the best thing as a gamer is when you get a friend who's showing interest in something you really like and watching them fall down the rabbit hole and watching them react to the stuff that you react to and seeing how you're similar and different. And as an added bonus, Jaime just jumped in like, "Hey guys, I just saw you." Oh, well, yo, stay in here. Read for Achi, and it just snowballed there. And
How many hours did we log in that day?
the session was 2 hours 54 minutes.
What time did you guys
Wow.
end?
Well, we started at 10, so we ended around 2 in the morning.
Okay.
But
I still need to go back and finish it
lol, I was
because the voice work is fantastic
yes.
from you guys.
little DDR Panay 2003 was follower 428.
Really? Oh, how cool!
And you could actually see in the goal the how we smashed it, but I wanted to flex on all our viewers and just show like, hey, we did it. We got over 428. We proceeded to destroy that goal as the weekend did, but
So,
I remember when we were playing this stream, and Jaime had to get a crash course on the story. I'm actually playing it right now for our viewers, but there was this one moment when I knew I had the two of you hooked, and it was in Achi's chapter, and the guy with the cane shows up with the gun, and you're like, "Oh no!" And I was like, "You're hook, line, and sinker." And you saw I was very insistent on going to Tama. I was like, "We got to do Tama. We got to do Tama. Trust me." And then when we did, and y'all met Yaga Nishida and introduced Burning Hammer, I was like, "You're sealed. You're in the palm of my hand. Got your soul in a jar."
oh, now you're controlling us. Now we're your puppets, and you're the puppet master, huh? You freak.
I mean, we are doing that with Shibuya 428. I highly recommend watching the stream, but double highly recommend getting the game yourself. It is, even with it just being pure visual novel, that was well worth my time. Holy cow, holy cow, holy cow. The humor, the writing, the timing, the photos, the acting, the fact that it would
Now us.
the fact that like certain shots will snap into focus and pan. It's really good.
The fact that I'm gonna have to order this for my PS4 is starting to become a legitimate fact.
You
now.
could get it for PC too, just saying.
It, Kaza, and then and call us up so we can read it for you. I need to be typecasted as Tama, though.
But that was Friday.
Oh man,
That was Friday.
Well, that's Friday night.
That was Friday night. And of course, we go to Saturday, which was probably like our most hands-on day. Suplex Art Online. Now we could have Daniel and Kaza chime in extensively. So
Oh my god!
you two watched it,
Holy
right?
Shit, was that awesome? I watched the entire thing.
WWW?
Suplex Art Online.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah, I did. I
Notice how Daniel instantly perked up like, "Oh yeah.
yeah. That's I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm actually kind of winded, right? It's just this weather's knocking you out. Yes. So Suplex Art Online was some of the most fun as just a viewer, just to watch, because it's. I used to play like the old WWE Raw vs SmackDown games, and I would automatically put in like a 30-man CPU Royal Rumble, but I'd have like my own characters, like, oh, it's Superman, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Captain America, stuff like that. But then it's us, and I'm thinking, oh, this is so great, and it's funny how.
It's funny how there's how many of us
error.
are there.
Yeah.
Like nobody stops and think like we got a lot of people.
To be
talk
fair,
about that
I know
math,
that we have this many people because I've done the
You've crunched the numbers.
I've crunched the numbers before, but still, I'm like, oh god, who's coming out next? Who's coming out next? And all of a sudden, I see a second Phoenix Wright come into the ring.
That was the funniest one. We had Anthony just installed the mod. This is the first Phoenix Wright, but literally later in the game, a second Phoenix Wright comes in because the mod hiccup, and Robbie rolled with his. Oh no, it's Furio Tigre, the Phoenix Wright imposter. But this was absolute lunacy. It's very reminiscent of VGCW, where they just have a bunch of creative wrestlers and they wrestle with the AI.
You know what? It works.
It works.
And that mat is beautiful.
Oh, the ring is it's wonderful. I was so excited for this. Even after it ended, I was thinking I want to do another one right now because I am just having so much fun.
Jay, are you the type of people to make a bunch of like? Are you the type of person who makes an 8-way match between a bunch of random characters in Smash and just has them go out?
Yes. In fact, I've done that a couple times where I'm like, okay, what are we going to have? We're going to have Cuban. We're going to have German, Mexican. We're going to have
I know that.
food.
I know that.
And we just have 8 players go at it, and their name is like what food they are. And then eventually like, okay, looks like we're going for Cuban today, guys. Donkey Kong brought it home.
But this was absolute insanity. I do think this was the roughest of the matches we did, but there were so many things like spotty internet, the mod coming out, Robbie, Ian, and Isaac getting used to it. So it has the most growing pains, but definitely everybody is still going, we want more. We want more of this. Because it's great. It's actually fun to actually watch the characters wrestle.
It is. And I guess the thing that was, I was on pins and needles the whole time, like, oh god, who's in this thing? Because I didn't know if any of my characters were going to be, because I was told like right before, oh yeah, Skeletor's not in it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you don't want to bury your champion in the Royal Rumble.
Well, you guys can say that, but I wanted to see myself in the ring. But then Yamayuki came out, and I could tell they spent a lot of time on that hair, because I was like, it had the biggest hair of anyone there.
And Jotaro was also in there.
Jotaro was in there too. And it's funny because for a long time, I was rooting for Metaton, because the most flamboyant character who lasts the longest. And eventually I'm just like, oh yeah, go Metaton, this is awesome. Then Jotaro comes in, punches him, and then throws him out of the ring. I'm like, I feel so conflicted.
And you know, Fire Pro works so well for it.
I assume that these characters you can find online, like, oh, somebody made a Phoenix Wright, you can upload it to your game, or something. Okay.
Yes, someone
there's that Metaton.
Someone put it on Steam, which was the only reason why we were able to do this, because making one character is a very arduous process. So any way we could shortcut it, we're gonna do it. Also, the Coach Connor looks look really good. That was Anthony. Anthony made Coach Connors.
Oh, that looked great.
But there's
I definitely want to watch it. Is that something that's on our channel?
Yes, it is on our channel. You could watch it.
Sweet.
But we're already
Twitch is being cooperative.
Like, for sure, we're gonna do this again.
Cool.
Like I want to do this. Like, have it on the background right now. I'm just so excited.
Then Tommy won, right?
Tommy won.
Tommy was number 30 in the Rumble, and he ended up winning. I think he beat Soldier 76 and Winter Soldier in like the final 3.
Oh my god,
it was
crazy.
It was actually pretty aggressive. Pretty competitive, that final segment between Winter Soldier and Soldier 76 and Tommy Wiseau. But yes, let's do random chance. Tommy Wiseau gets another win.
This is the rhythm of the night.
Then smartly after that, we had the WWW fan session, which I did not schedule anything after because I didn't know how long it ran, and thank God I didn't put anything after it.
Thank God.
Which you got to participate in, Donovan.
I did. I had secretly wanted to do something on the days that was advertised. And so I was like, well, fortunately with my timing, the only thing that would work on my schedule is the WWW fan session. So I really wanted to learn more about the game because I was only 2 weeks in. So the more experience and the more time I could be under your learning tree about the game, I was like, yes, I want to absorb as much knowledge
Stapler
as
X
possible.
writes, dude, we went way over time. It's tabletop. D&D sessions can go to like 5 or 6 hours. So the fact that we had a lesson and a game after it, like, we could give ourselves some slack on that.
Not gonna lie, I passed out right before the game started.
Oh, it was a shit show. It was a shit show.
Okay, so it was a classic DWA
Oh,
show. Okay.
no. This is...
I did see the clip of I want to interrupt.
You... Oh, my God. Well, it was also... I got to ask Donovan, since you just got into it, what's your take on Larry Zabisco?
Oh wow. He's definitely a mixture of like complete like the worst boss you'd ever want. And then you add there a layer that he somehow has power over people. And so he's so slimy in his tactics. And he
Larry.
is like, yeah, Larry is so slimy. And from a character's perspective, like Eric is just trying to like, hey, work is work. Let's be happy. Let's be positive about this. But imagine somewhere in the back of his head is going, I can't wait to get back to California.
I need to take a shower. But
a couple showers.
I think an unintended layer of Larry's sliminess is normally when a character's slimy, that's like used car salesman slimy, like they work that slime. Larry doesn't know that because he's just so incompetent.
Yes, I definitely. He's trying to make things work around him. He's taking more shortcuts and cutting all the corners. And I don't know. A lot of it. I think he's just making it up along the way. Carrots in the nacho cheese. Come on, where did you get this, Larry?
And then he asked the Brazilian, like, "Hey, this is on brand with your culture, right?"
I get okay. To answer Stapler's question, that's out of G's head, and we as players just continue to add on more complexity to Larry as time goes by.
Yeah, that's the thing. Larry was just kind of originally he came off as Gil from The Simpsons, like, oh, do it, you gotta buy the doorbell for Gil. You know who I'm talking about, right? Gil? Y'all don't know who?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
And then just like the more games we played, he just got more and more pathetic. Julio was just in disbelief and confused. And it didn't help how the other players would just add on stuff he did. I think his descent into shortcutness was how Larry Zabisco was made during a board game session. We were playing Book It, which is a pro wrestling deck builder. And I, as a joke, named my Fed Desperate Wrestling Alliance. And as we were playing, like, my Fed never made any money because of bad luck and bad choices. And then finally, when I finished in the black, I yelled out, just, off the top of my head, we could finally afford a top rope.
And it's interesting enough, if you go back to session 1 of WWW, you see the very first little bits of Larry when G is doing a commentary spot, and he says the name Larry Zabisco as, just a random commentator, as a one-off. And it just became something crazy.
Yeah. No relation to the actual Hall of Famer. But This game was hilarious. People are already Steve Relax is typing in cheese and nacho, carrot and nacho emotes.
Yes. Then you have to talk about. You can't forget what you found out while we were playing the game.
Oh yes, let's. I'm a little biased. So wanna.
What? You bias? Never.
Plus, I've been talking a lot. What happened, Donovan?
Well, you were searching for. You were just kind of like searching for factoids and giving everyone like a behind the scenes aspects of the website and the different characters and the different powers and this, that, and the other. And you just kind of scroll down to see, how people played it, who's been playing it recently. Then, as you're reading the different sections of who's been playing the game, you find out that Cosplay Wrestling Federation has been marked as a entity that has played their game. How cool that was that you were able to find that in vivo, and you were so excited about.
We were all like,
that
"Hey, I heard
was
you.
on there.
You were so excited too. Don't pin. Y'all make it sound like that I was just the one." And everybody was like, "Yeah, that was cool." We were all losing our shit that moment.
Oh
was
yeah,
really
when
cool.
I saw that, I was just like, "Holy shit, that's awesome!"
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really awesome, and the fact that it actually sent links to the video you guys have actually played before too. That was like actual proof that it has been done. So that was really cool.
That was not gonna lie. I'm so happy that we found out on stream. It wasn't one of those, haha, I was aware ahead of time and I'm just gonna slip this in. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip real quick for everyone at home. Links of other people who have played it. Shut up and sit down. World Cosplay Wrestling. Wait, what? Wait, what? Is that us? Is that us? Oh my god. Is that us? Is that us? Is that us? Holy that's us! That's us!
Oh, thank you. This is some Inception shit. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh my god.
We should thank them. Like, I'll just.
Oh my god. We're here. I literally.
No, we should tweet them later, definitely.
I didn't know this was.
Tweet them right now.
I didn't know this was a thing.
I'm like on my phone and modding.
You could hear Donovan in the background go like, "Tweet them right now. Tweet them right now."
Yeah, I wanted them to.
I never thought I would do a legitimate cartoon double take on stream where you read some. You know how like in the cartoons they read something.
What?
Yeah, like oh yeah, because of this you win $1 million. I never thought. I thought that was just a gag thing, but no, that's real. Yeah, those face when Senpai notices you.
You know how like in the cartoons they yeah, like oh yeah.
What?
But that was a fun session. I liked how people just went all out. Like Jimmy injured himself with the laptop because fuck it. And oh yeah,
That's what hardcore wrestlers do.
it was. Because did you say you just ran a in-person session of WWW?
Yeah, my gaming group, we usually get together at least 2-3 times a week to sit down, play Dungeons and Dragons and different types of games. I've been talking up WWW for a while now, and finally I was able to get everything printed off, and everybody was very receptive. They enjoyed the game. A couple of matches were just DWA levels of dumpster fire. Not a lot of people at the table know wrestling like I do, or a couple of the older people that play. So, while they were discussing how did they do this move or how did they do that, I was explaining it to them and then telling them what the move was. They were like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." Like I had a fighter bring out a chair, roll a 2 and smack the color commentator in the face,
Oh my god.
permanently sending that person home. So I had to think on the fly, okay, who could be my other color commentator? Oh, wait, I just retired a wrestler. Insert Ragnar here.
Nice.
All right. Now let's go to the
But
event.
yeah, but everybody was really cool with it, and I enjoyed running it.
Let's go ahead and go back to the event that we'll probably be spending the most time on, and that's CWF presents the match game. First off, chat, this was the most amount of work that went into a single event of the weekend, because I had to, first off, thank you Stapler X and Didi Panay for being our wonderful guests. It's a lot to ask to be on stream, and you handled that job perfectly. But everything from recruiting the performers, and we had rehearsals. We don't usually rehearse in the
Yeah.
CWF. But
We did do rehearsals, 2 of them.
we needed to. Aren't you glad you rehearsed?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I feel winded right now.
It's the heat.
I don't know if it's the heat.
Have you been drinking water? I just want to make sure. Like, seriously.
I'm taking another gulp right now.
Yeah, make sure you're drinking like more water than you think you need. Being winded is usually a sign of dehydration.
Okay. So back to practicing twice.
Yeah, we had to run rehearsal. Normally, we don't do rehearsal. I just say, hey, when we do a show, it's you're here, you're here, you're here, you're at this spot. Make sure this happens. Deuces. Like when the freaky fish guy was resurrected, we didn't rehearse that. The most we do for rehearsal is, hey, can you practice just entering and exiting a stage? Good. Hold the mic. Good. This one had full-blown rehearsal. Because there were so many elements. We had to develop our chemistry. We had to make sure Anthony was familiar with swapping people in and out. We had to test the overlay. We had to make sure, like this on stream right now is the Sailor Moon bit. We had to practice this because Ellie had to keep an eye out for Ryan for the cue, and everybody had to know how to properly acknowledge each other. And then people did their own prep. You could see how Daniel, Rachel, and Teresa all got their own backdrop. Donovan too. Donovan also has a backdrop.
Yes, I did.
Y'all went
yes, I
the
did.
extra mile. I'm gonna say that.
Well, it was either that or a poster for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
and an Iron Man cutout.
An Iron Man cutout, yeah. But yeah, I got that at a Blockbuster. They were throwing that away along with the Incredible Hulk, and there was like a third one, but they're like, if you want to take this, go for it, because they were gonna dump it. It was like back in 2009. I'm like, it's a life-size stand-in for Iron Man 1. I'm like, I'm gonna let that.
That's the good Iron Man.
It's a good Iron Man.
Also, Ryan had so much on his shoulders because he has to hold character while maintaining show flow. Being a good host, Donovan, you could relate, is so... the most frustrating thing about it is when you do it at a high level, nobody notices you.
Right.
But I want to zoom in on your experiences on Match Game. How was it for you as one of the contestants?
Me specifically?
Yeah, you.
Well, like I said before, I love to talk. I love to be the character of Donovan Troy, specifically the glamorous and fabulous version, because he is a mean girl. He could be mean to anybody. He could be nice to anybody, but he could definitely be mean to anyone at any given moment. And I definitely decided to take my liberties on such being mean to people. But obviously, it's all in good fun. Real hate was out of my mouth. It was great to interact with the audience. The brief moments I was able to chat with them on my phone while still being in character on screen. So much fun. So much fun.
Also, we kind of had a miracle at the 11th hour with you.
Yeah.
Because a
Oh,
few,
man.
like the morning of, Donovan's Discord starts wigging out, where he can't get on camera, and he sounds horrible when he's on camera. So we were right before the show. I said, just go audio only. And then for some reason, the camera held through like a ship taped with duct tape. Didn't complete the journey pretty, but it got to the finish line.
Hey,
I thought it was doing pretty good the whole time, actually.
Oh, yeah, no, considering where we were before, I'll take it.
in pro wrestling, it's duct tape and zip ties, and duct tape and zip ties got me through the finish line, and I'm grateful.
I don't know why, but one of the most hilarious parts of the match game was seeing people glare at each other in the overlay. Oh, Daniel, you got a story with that.
Yes. So when we first started, I didn't know where it was going to be. I don't know if this counts as a story, but the moment that I realized, because I had my PlayStation on in the background, which had was a live thing. So I'm like, okay, where am I going to be? On bottom left. So if ever I'm going to look at Mario, I'm going to look to my left. I'm going to look at Ebony, I'm going to look directly up. See, Donovan is kind of like off to the far left. And if ever I look at Isabel, I kind of like crouch my head and like kind of like a dog looking to the left, as if I'm like looking directly at them, to make it look like, oh, I'm actually talking with these people. And eventually Jeremy took notice, and he started doing the same thing. So there were points where him and I were just like basically looking at each other and bickering at each other.
It was really funny with Jeremy because there was one moment where he was accosted from both Donovan and you and Sailor Moon, so he's literally like looking all around. But I'm showing it. This overlay that Anthony made is so brilliant. What were your initial reactions when you guys saw the overlay? Like yourselves in it?
Initially, it's weird. I was a little worried because they were so thin, I should say, because they're like little eggs. It ended up working out just fine. Like right there, Mario and Skeletor are like going at it. But initially, I was actually a little worried that it was going to be too small. But I guess Anthony did expand them a bit larger in between like the second practice and this one. So I thought these looked great.
What about you, Donovan, when you first saw yourself in the overlay? Your initial reaction?
It was definitely surprisingly, my phone was being cooperative with Twitch, and it is now again. Thank goodness. Yeah, when when the characters were loading onto the overlay, I'm like, oh, okay. Am I gonna be next to who? And so it was really cool to actually, when the character popped up, like, oh my god, my character's live on Twitch.
It felt real,
video.
huh?
It felt real.
It was one of those things.
I'm on.
When I saw it and I saw it happening, I went, "This feels real." This in the sense like when you make something or when you're in a creative process and when what you see in front of you starts matching the visions in your brain, like this is it. This is it. And that's what I said to myself. This is it. I
came alive.
Yeah, it felt live. And, my involvement was, I was just you pretty much, you'd say what, producer, director?
Yeah.
Producer.
Yeah,
producer,
director, which was it. I just pretty much came in as like, hey, notes, bam, Anthony, I need this here, do this here, bam, 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 and then I shut up. I think it was very important that it was these 6 people that got on. I wanted to have director's notes. I wanted to have a relatively good balance of male and female characters. Donovan was on my short list because he never got to be in Fanime at 2019, and plus he's been slowly hinting on just like doing a little more than emceeing Ellie was in because she's been wanting to do match game for a long time. Having Skeletor and Mario was a gimme. I mean,
I absolutely love any time that I get to be Skeletor. I absolutely love any interpretation. And once once it's on, I just morph into the character, and I'm here for a very fun time.
uh,
Definitely love that character more than any of your previous characters, huh?
I say yes, and it was
Mhm.
literally a Halloween costume I bought for one of Jaime's Halloween parties. I'm just like, I'll bring this to a Sac Anime show and see how it goes. And then I go on for my round one, and I go to the back, and Mr. Wendell's just like, "Well, congrats on winning the title." Right after round one was over.
I'll tell you what, chat was loving.
oh yeah,
every
let's
second.
talk about chat, dude. Chat was full. I thought we were gonna, hover around 20-30. We were at 55.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And not to mention some of the performers as well were interacting with, people in match game, even though it might have gotten glanced over, but until my phone died, I was engrossed with chat.
Hey, Legally Blind
as well
Lurker.
with the
Evening.
game.
We're actually talking about our time spent at Fanime. We did, if you're familiar with the match game or RuPaul Drag Race version, the Snatch game, we did our own version. I got it on chat with you right now. We're actually going over our big Fanimania content block. But I felt very happy, ecstatic with what happened, and I'm glad I was able to just focus on producing. Which I had to fight out every urge to perform myself because, we love our attention. There's that.
Like to scratch our itch.
Oh, of course, but at the end of the day, you want to think of your product, and at the same time, like, it's fair, right? I've been on camera for all this time, so give it to someone else. That's what I said to myself. I wanted to also talk about Isabel, who pretty much had the most consistent burns of the night. Like Donovan and Skeletor and Ebony and Mario said funny things. Isabel made everybody go, damn!
Totally. She had the secret pipe bombs.
She did.
And every single time she was completely in character, and she was just talking like this, and I mean, I just did this because of this, and it was just, I can't do her justice because she was just so wonderful.
There's a funny story with getting Teresa in the match game, because I wanted another female character, and then I remember when Teresa came out as Midori's mom, she used a RuPaul track. And very rarely do you listen to RuPaul music and nobody goes, I like RuPaul only for the music. No one says that. Which was very important because if you know about the Snatch game, then you know the exact vibe we wanted, which was another reason why I wanted Donovan, because like he gets it. I don't have to explain anything to him. But
Character loves that.
Yeah.
My little character loves being a mean girl.
and it also helped that everybody's playing Animal Crossing. So
Yes.
it was just
Totally. That game has made Nintendo so much money right now. It's not even funny.
the chat was already going.
over
The
14 million.
the chat went wild on each character introduction. Like whenever someone came out, like, oh shit, it's Skeletor. Oh shit, Isabel. And oh shit, oh it's Donovan. Boo, fuck that guy.
It's true.
We also got to talk about the Billy May spot.
Yeah, is there any? I definitely want to see that because unfortunately, with Twitch on my phone, I had the volume down, so I had to obviously concentrate on the video aspect. But yeah, I could see the commercial running in the background, going, "What is going on? This is so awesome! What is Billy Mays trying to do?" I definitely want to go back and see that piece alone because that's so cool. That you guys included that for.
So what happened was it was a one-off remark that Justin, aka Winter Soldier, said, "Hey, we should do when we plug the social media, we should have Billy Mays sell something for the commercial break." So then I contact Jericho, and he couldn't make a video in terms of him on camera because he couldn't find his Billy Mays stuff, and that's when I said, "Yo, make it a video." And I'm gonna go ahead and play it for chat so you could all just witness this real quick. This is hilarity.
Hi, CWF's Billy
My
Mays
volume up
here
so I
with
can actually watch it
Cosplay
with
Wrestling
the
Federation,
camera 'cause it
telling
it's
you
Billy
to
Mays stuff,
follow
and that's
them
what I said,
on
yo,
their social media.
Did a video.
Want up-to-date
I'm
news
gonna
on
go
all
ahead and
things
play it for
CWF?
chat so you could all
Want to
just
watch your
witness this
favorite
real
shows
quick.
from the past?
It's
Want
hilarious.
even more content like the Anything Goes Championship?
Hi,
Well,
CWF's
you
Billy
should follow
Mays
them on their
stuff.
social media. They're everywhere, on Twitch and Facebook. You think that's all? But wait, there's more. They're also on Instagram.
Uh-oh, we're
and
getting a little
Twitter.
audioception.
Wow,
Feedback.
so much value. How much am I paying? $50? $30? $10?
Donovan, you might want to lower your phone a bit.
Huge value of all
Okay.
that is for 5 easy payments.
All right.
It's okay, but that's what Jericho made for us in the nick of time, and
So cool.
we were also smart enough to tweet Wild Bills, which is also a mini in joke of the weekend. Also tweet Wild Bills. Let them know that you want a CWF mug. Kaza, did you watch Match Game like the full way through?
I caught most of it, and then my phone died.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, I heard you be a heel the entire time, so it's fine.
Thanks.
So then from Match Game, we go on to CWF Jackbox. Match Game finished around, I want to say 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then we do Jackbox in the fan Discord, and there were already people waiting for us. Daniel, tell everyone how tired you were right after Match Game.
So I had this big old glass of water that I'd say is about 24 to 30 ounces.
This big? Like,
And it's filled with ice. And I'm like, oh, once I'm in the Skeletor outfit, I'm not going to be able to drink it. So I get ready, and I'm ready like 40 minutes early before the show begins. So 40 minutes, and then it's another 2 hours. So I'm staring at this water, and it's just condensation on the outside. It takes about 30 seconds for me to down the thing, and you can just see this really ugly shot of me just taking the skull rubber off. So it looks like this skull is like eating me. I'm just downing it, and as I'm done, I'm like, oh, I'm done. Then I just start like slowly taking off piece by piece, and I'm not left in like this Hawaiian shirt from underneath. I'm like, feels a little better now.
oh yeah, there's a limitation on Skeletor's outfit that
Oh yeah.
want to tell everyone at home about that?
So yeah, for this, everyone was said, okay, all we need is profile shot. All we need is just from the
Waist up.
the chest, or even the chest up, so we can just see you in the profile shot. Unfortunately, Skeletor is a one-piece outfit, so I was down all the way to my ankles in this one-piece thing. So the only thing I wasn't wearing were the boots that go over your shoes, like the little like felt things, and his little crotch guard belt thing that he wears. So I'm there in the full outfit, but while that's happening, I'm seeing both Rachel and then Donovan put on like this crazy eyeshadow. I'm like, well, I don't feel like I'm the easy one. Then I joke like, oh, Mario just put on a hat and overalls, and Tommy was like, oh, he just puts on a wig. And
I bet
that
you
must
were
be
looking
great.
at Teresa real jealous because she got to wear a Hawaiian shirt on cam.
Yeah, but then she had this awesome green screen. It was
It
fantastic.
wasn't a green screen. That was a backdrop.
That was a backdrop.
It wasn't a green screen.
They had an island there, like an island sheet.
Yes.
I was completely fooled.
Aha.
Wow. I was completely. I've been fooled. I've been Smeckledorfed.
Hoodwinked.
She talked about
I've been hoodwinked.
she talked about how she had to get a ladder or something to post it up on the wall.
Go Kart Fellas writes Skeletor's biggest weakness, having to pee.
I don't have to pee. I haven't paid in, gosh, what is it, 2,000 years? Probably get that looked at.
But the Jackbox after party, we seriously overestimated our energy. Like, after over an hour, I actually called for a 15-minute break because I needed to nap and eat, and other people needed to use facilities, and thank God we did that. But that was fun. That was fun. We got to play with Go-Kart Follies and Mantis and Panda Booty, Stapler X, and Messna. Went on. We got a good amount of games. I loved how we were people were tepid about Joke Boat, and then we were dying while playing Joke Boat.
Yeah, Joke Boat's one of those games where the first time you play, it's like, it wasn't that good. But then subsequent playthroughs, like, okay, now I see what this game was trying.
And Kevin killed us.
Like, yeah.
Kevin.
Oh yeah, Kevin was just crazy.
Kevin killed us. Freaking Rachel killed us in Fibbage. RoboCop and Richard Nixon, guys. And then finally, we had our big WWW pay-per-view on Monday, a bonus episode, Memorial Mayhem, which Kaza you were a part of. In fact, a huge storyline was resolved with your character.
Oh yeah.
So tell us a little bit how that went.
Canadian destroyer onto a bomb pad to the outside.
Ooh.
Yeah, that whole storyline, it had been building up to that match, and me and Isaac were thinking about retiring the characters, starting over, or his character transitioning, and we felt going out with a bang.
Literally.
Was probably the best way. Like, you can go and listen to people's reactions during that match. People were like, oh my god.
We also got rated by Durlat's channel, and we had some few people like Legally Blind Lurker join us and help out. We got to help Robbie with his finisher. That was fun because you could see him trying to put it together, and then we gave him the pieces. And got to ask, what did you think of the Overseller's heel antics?
Perfect. Just perfect. And the fact that the Overseller is the champion now still boggles my mind.
Everyone's mind. So Donovan, just to let you know how like the Overseller healed it up. Remember how the last game he was reading his book?
Yes.
He wanted to make it. He wanted to make it simpler while maintaining his intellectual integrity. So he was presenting his book through interpretive dance. And he had a bunch of backup dancers dance for him, and then he would do stuff like pull dancers in his way to have the champion hit them, or he would baby powder the champion, and while the champion recovered, another one of his dancers came and dressed like him, and they would eat the finisher for him.
Oh, what? What kind of stipulation was that?
It wasn't. It was just they were distracting the ref, and the Overseller was just being a bastard.
It's crazy. It's crazy. How long has the CWF been playing WWW?
Actually, I could tell you.
I'd say it maybe a little under 2 months.
I could actually tell you about that.
That's why I asked.
I know, Daniel, you were in the chat too.
I was in the chat for a bit, just listening in because I have not played the game. I guess it's not really my thing if it's like 3, 4, 5 hours long, sort of like a D&D campaign sort of thing. But yeah, it's nice to like poke your head in every now and then.
Oh yeah, I get it. These things are a marathon, so if saying it's too long is a legit critique. Don't get me wrong. I'm still surprised we went 5 on Saturday.
Ooh wee.
Yeah, don't worry. We're all.
How many people did you have?
How many did we have, Kaza?
Let's see. There was the new people.
No, we're talking
So
about. Wait, are you talking about the pay-per-view, Donovan, or the session?
The pay-per-view on Monday, because I was there for the fans one on Saturday.
Pay-per-view was only 3 matches.
Mm.
So it was about close to 2 hours.
Okay, we had Drexel made.
It was you and Drexel, Nemo, and Berserker.
6 wrestlers, 1 GM.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember Rachel had hit me up and said, "Hey, are you gonna come?" And I said, "Well, last time I checked the group chat, there was tons and tons of people involved. Don't want to take away anyone's spots. I will gladly sit this one out." She goes, "Yeah, I'm sitting out on this one too." I'm like, okay. I didn't want to intervene on other people's ability to play. Like, well, maybe I'll catch them again on Wednesday.
Yeah, typically pay-per-views, we come in with the conceit that it's going to be a longer session, so it's less about how many and more so who wants to show up.
Gotcha.
Session, okay, here we go. Session 0. I found Session 0 on Twitch.
Okay.
2 months ago.
Okay.
But that was Fanimania. Y'all had fun? Chat, type 1 if you had fun. I say 1 because it rhymes with fun.
One over here.
I'm definitely a 1 on this side.
Because we're already... Oh, man, people are smashing the 1 button. Donovan, I think you have a conflict of interest here.
What? I could say what I want.
Okay.
I'm an independent, strong man.
At first, I thought you were gonna say democracy, bitches. I definitely think
next time
they're already in. Spoiler alert: there's already in talks about us doing this in July.
The convention is usually in July.
Anime Expo.
Anime Expo.
Ah, chill. I'm not a convention snob, so I don't know these things.
That's why we're telling you.
Thank you. Are you planning on doing like a 10-program virtual event again?
Well, I mean, there's definitely stuff that we wanted, like Anthony, Isaac, Robbie, and Ian want to do. They want to run SAO back because it was fun and they want to improve it. There were some technical limitations that we realized we could get around, such as it was hard for them to watch the video because Anthony's computer was taxed with running the game, streaming, and the call. But then we realized since it's not a game of skill, like nobody's playing it, Anthony could just run the Rumble on his own, convert it to a video, and then run the video.
Oh, okay.
Or give the video to all 3 of them, and they could just watch it on the side. And Match Game is way too popular for us to not do again.
Sure.
Suplex Art Online is just push a button and go.
Yeah, we actually did run Suplex Art Online with commentary, but Match Game, I think, we'd probably do again with some... we'll probably change up the celebrity roster a little bit, just for a little bit more variety. I've already pre-selected the contestants, too. So I said, hey, would you like to do this if we do it again? And it's probably we're doing it again, folks. Oh no! Oh,
we're bringing it back.
Oh,
we're
no.
bringing it back.
If we could get the program block done. I mean, there's a difference between we want to bring it back versus we're bringing it back. And maybe we could do some other stuff. An idea I had was putting another follower goal for like 475 or 500. Yeah, 475, just to be fair. 475, and if we hit it, we'll do a wrestling workshop, but in the fan server. That way fans could actually talk, and we could give them critiques. Like similar to what we did at East Bay, Donovan.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe by then we could still play Shibuya if we haven't finished it by then.
No. That is also another thing. We could probably play we could do another Shibuya thing. It will get to a point where we're going to be past a point of no return for spoilers, where it is not advisable for new viewers to get in on the session, because shit's going to go down, and I ain't saying when, but Kaza, get your effing game.
I'm working on it.
Do you have a Vita?
I do have a Vita.
It's available on Vita too.
But they stopped service for that a while ago.
Wait, you can't go on the PlayStation Store?
Not with the Vita, I don't believe. I believe they stopped support. Then again, I could be mistaken. It's been a while since
I think you can still buy it.
He has a PlayStation 4, I think is what he said.
Well, the thing with the Vita is it's portable, meaning like you could read it in the bathroom.
You could always number the Shibuya videos. You can tell people, hey, before you watch video 3, make sure you've watched video 1 and 2.
It's gonna be a long one. I'm just gonna say, yo, watch the previous stuff. Y'all been warned. Don't say nothing or we're going to freaking kill you. Well, actually, I won't kill you. Donovan will.
And then I'm going to pour Burning Hammer
Burning,
all over your
it's
wound.
so spicy.
It's so spicy.
It's so spicy.
So spicy.
But I'm glad. I'm glad we did this. And I'm so glad.
How many new subscribers and all that new stuff how many people did the numbers change?
We got at least 30 new followers, 2 new subscribers. We increased our average viewership by 45%.
That's awesome.
And I'm so happy that not only did we get to do this, but people enjoyed it. So, Donovan, Kaza, Daniel, I want to thank you for being part of this weekend. I could not have done it without you three. And
no problem.
Thank you for CWF Universe for being with us there, being with us tonight, and being with us tomorrow, because we're going to do Worldwide Wrestling.
Yup.
Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for tonight. This is G.
All right.
With my friends Kaza,
Daniel,
and
Voice Donovan Troy.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Take care, guys.
Thanks for coming. See you later.
Live long and prosper.